Provide all them information to you.
Well, let me ask you this. What I was just talking to her. What if she told me that you beat the piss out of her and you jumped on top of her and started punching her in the face? Should I just go ahead and take that?
Okay, but don't you know?
It's your side of the story. Give your side.
You just talking to her though.
Yes.
With the information that she gave you, can she tell you?
You want me to just take everything she says?
I'm not from here.
Okay, but you want me to just take everything she says as fact?
All I'm just saying is I'm not from here. I don't know her exact address.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
If my mind gets ruined, my life is ruined, because then you can't think, you can't do things, you don't know what the fuck you're doing in life. It's like literally everything is the quality of your ability to think. And I knew that I was putting that in jeopardy.
Victim's identity will not be released in accordance with Marcy's law. On October 29, 2025, at approximately 2:15 p.m., the victim entered the Miami Gardens Police Department, accompanied by her attorney, to report an incident.
Joe Rogan says the leaked arrest body cam footage is truly shocking and believes Gervonta Davis will need to seriously work on himself, focusing on his discipline, mindset, and personal growth once he is released, emphasizing that real change must come from strengthening his mental approach and overall self-control moving forward.
All those feelings of weakness that are inside of you.
Yeah, and it acts as like a forcing mechanism for discipline.
Tank Davis faces a police confrontation after the alleged victim files charges, which has drawn serious attention from law enforcement, the media, and intense public scrutiny surrounding the incident and its wider implications. Joe Rogan explains that Gervonta Davis should now shift his focus towards something he genuinely loves and finds exciting, suggesting it feels as if Tank no longer has the same true passion or emotional connection to boxing that once drove his career.
Get him
over here then. If you're gonna kick someone out of your house,
Sir, you don't have to do that.
I don't have to. I'm sorry. I don't have to do what?
Bravo, 17 miles east.
Put your hands on her?
No, I did not. Of course she's gonna tell you if she. Okay,
did?
why?
Miami Gardens police announced they are actively searching for Gervonta Davis, coordinating with the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force regarding serious charges of false imprisonment, battery, and attempted kidnapping connected to his ex-girlfriend, highlighting the gravity of the allegations and the ongoing law enforcement efforts to locate him.
Finding a pursuit or a passion or something that you truly love that's engaging and challenging, that is exciting for you, and it advances you as a person. And the lessons that you learn in pursuing that thing, you apply to everything in your life.
The user Hassan Nonks posted that police claim to have video evidence showing Gervonta Davis assaulting his ex-girlfriend and are actively seeking to arrest him. Authorities are reportedly investigating the incident, reviewing all evidence, and continuing their search for Davis following the serious assault allegations
That occurred on October 27, 2025. According to the victim's statement, at approximately 4:15 a.m. while working, the victim was approached by Mr. Davis. The victim reported that Mr. Davis grabbed her by her back of her head, pulling her by her hair with one hand and by her throat with the other. He forcefully escorted her down a stairway and toward the parking garage while maintaining his grip on the back of her head. Upon reaching the parking garage, the victim reported that Mr. Davis released her, at which point she was able to run towards her co-workers for safety. The victim further reported that she has known Mr. Davis since 2022, and they were previously involved in an intimate relationship for approximately 5 months, which ended about a month prior to the incident. Lead detective Gary Florencio obtained and reviewed video surveillance footage that corroborates key elements of the victim's statement. As a result of the diligent and hard work of our Special Victims Unit, an arrest warrant has been issued for Gervonta Bryant Davis on the following charges: battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping. The investigation determined that Mr. Davis used force to restrain and attempt to remove the victim from the location against her will. At this time, the Miami Gardens Police Department is actively working with the United States Marshals Fugitive Task Force to locate and...
IFN Boxing reported on X that an arrest warrant has been issued for WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis. According to ESPN, the warrant is linked to an alleged domestic violence incident in October, with charges including false imprisonment, battery, and attempted kidnapping. Miami Gardens police confirmed they're working with the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force to locate Davis, and the search for him continues. Analysts describe the situation as serious and fast-moving, with significant legal implications. Law enforcement reports and court documents indicate the incident reportedly occurred at a gentleman's club in Miami Gardens, Florida, where the alleged victim was employed. The charges listed battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping are considered extremely serious. Legal experts note that Davis has not turned himself in, which has influenced how authorities are handling the case. Analysts explain that this is why Miami Gardens police are now coordinating with the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force, a step usually reserved for suspects who may be difficult to locate or are actively avoiding law enforcement, signaling a more aggressive phase of the investigation.
Miami Gardens police. Davis is accused of attacking a woman who works at a gentleman's club back in October. She says he left her battered and bruised. Police are not releasing the name of the woman or the club. They did say the pair had dated in the past. Now there is a warrant out for his arrest.
The victim reported that Mr. Davis grabbed her by her back of her head, pulling her by her hair with one hand and by her throat with the other.
Last month, 3 months before this incident, he was accused of assaulting the mother of his children in an episode that allegedly happened on Father's Day. Several previous charges were dropped when the alleged victims.
Reports describe a heavy law enforcement presence at the scene, with officers stationed on the steps and media nearby, highlighting the seriousness of the situation. According to the victim's statement, the incident occurred around 4:15 a.m. while she was working, when she was approached by Gervonta Davis. She alleged that Davis grabbed her by the back of the head and throat, forcibly leading her down a stairway toward a parking garage. Once they reached the garage, she said she was released and ran to her coworkers for safety. The victim also stated that she had known Davis since 2022 and that they had a previous intimate relationship lasting about 5 months, which ended roughly a month before the incident. Authorities confirmed that lead detective Gary Florinio reviewed surveillance footage that reportedly corroborates key parts of the victim's account, a detail investigators consider highly significant.
Hair with one hand and by her throat with the other. He forcefully escorted her down a stairway and toward the parking garage while maintaining his grip on the back of her head. The victim further reported they were previously involved in an intimate relationship for approximately 5 months. Lead detective Gary Florencio obtained and reviewed video surveillance footage that corroborates key elements of the victim's statement. As a result of the diligent and hard work of our Special Victims Unit, an arrest warrant has been issued for Gervonta Bryant Davis on the following charges: battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping. The investigation determined that Mr. Davis used force to restrain and attempt to remove the victim from the location against her will. The Miami Gardens Police Department is actively working with the United States Marshals Fugitive Task Force to locate and apprehend Mr. Davis.
What's up, everybody? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, and let's get straight into it because this is a serious and developing situation involving Gervonta Davis. So what exactly happened? According to law enforcement and court documentation, an arrest warrant has been issued for Gervonta Davis stemming from an alleged domestic violence incident that reportedly took place back in October in Miami Gardens, Florida. Police say the incident occurred at a gentleman's club where the alleged victim worked. The charges listed on the warrant are battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping. As of now, authorities say that Gervonta has not turned himself in, which is a critical detail in how this case has unfolded. And this is where things change. Miami Gardens Police confirmed they are working now with the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force to locate and arrest Gervonta Davis. This doesn't just happen automatically. When someone has an active warrant and law enforcement believes they may be difficult to locate, avoiding contact, or capable of crossing jurisdictions, U.S. Marshals are often brought in. For you guys wondering, what exactly do the U.S. Marshals do? I got you. They are the oldest federal law enforcement agency in the country, operating under the Department of Justice, and they specialize in the following: tracking and arresting fugitives, assisting with high-profile warrants, running joint task forces with local police.
Sean Porter discussed what a potential return for Gervonta Davis could look like, making it clear that some matchups no longer make sense. He suggested that if Davis comes back around the summer, a rematch with Lamont Roach is unlikely, especially after Roach's draw with Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Porter noted that fighters often use inconsistent logic when discussing opponents, praising a win one moment and then claiming Styles
I'm
make
telling you because you guys can't see it, right? They got police officers on the step. I'm assuming media, and because I hear people taking pictures and things like that. So paparazzi, just to announce this, which we'll get into.
According to the victim's statement, at approximately 4:15 a.m. while working, the victim was approached by Mr. Davis. The victim reported that Mr. Davis grabbed her by her back of her head, pulling her by her hair with one hand and by her throat with the other. He forcefully escorted her down a stairway and toward the parking garage while maintaining his grip on the back of her head. Upon reaching the parking garage, the victim reported that Mr. Davis released her, at which point she was able to run towards her co-workers for safety. The victim further reported that she has known Mr. Davis since 2022, and they were previously involved in an intimate relationship for approximately 5 months, which ended about a month prior to the incident. Lead detective Gary Florencio obtained and reviewed video surveillance footage that corroborates key elements of the victim's statement.
Oh, so they got footage, I guess, some footage from the club. That's not good.
Florencio obtained and reviewed video surveillance footage that corroborates key elements of the victim's statement. As a result of the diligent and hard work of our Special Victims Unit, an arrest warrant has been issued for Gervonta Bryant Davis on the following charges: battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping. The investigation determined that Mr. Davis used force to restrain and attempt to remove the victim from the location against her will. At this time, the Miami Gardens Police Department is actively working with the United States Marshals Fugitive Task Force to locate and apprehend Mr. Davis. We are here.
Bro, what is going on? Like I'm gonna be real. On my channel, I keep it G. And in no way, shape, form, or fashion do I agree with assault or battery or these heinous type of charges. I have never condoned a man
fights the next. Arguments he believes don't hold up. Instead, he argued that Davis should face the winner of Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson at 140 pounds, emphasizing that size should not be an excuse since Davis has previously fought at that weight. Porter also addressed Davis's legacy, stating that even if he returns and loses to elite competition, stepping up to that level would still earn him respect.
Were to come back 2020, who knows, in June, summertime, what you looking at Lamont Roach? Like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at?
I don't think he's going to fight him again.
Yeah.
Especially after the draw with Pitbull.
Yeah.
So I think that's like he can use that as an excuse, like, he can't even beat the guy that I beat, blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. The same thing, boxers kill me because they'll say, on one hand, they'll say, he couldn't beat him and I beat him, and then they'll say, styles make fights. You know what I mean? It's all BS.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he's going to fight Lamont Roach. I think that he should be fighting the winner of Teofimo and Shakur. Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. At 140.
I think he has no excuse to not fight Shakur at 140 because of the size. I think he don't want to fight. I mean, he shouldn't have an excuse to fight Teo either. You went up to 140 years ago to fight Mario Barrios. So
what do you say about his legacy though? Like, let's say he does come back and it's Shakur or it's Teo, and let's say he possibly loses. Do you give him love for stepping up and getting in the ring with those guys, especially if he continue to move on and fight other guys at 140, big names at 140? Or do you say, hey, you were gone, trouble, you came back, you weren't who you used to be, how do you look at the legacy if he come back against one of those guys? Those guys been active.
Supporters of Gervonta Davis recognize that he is navigating one of the most intense periods of his career. As an elite athlete, he faces not only the pressure to maintain peak performance, but also the added weight of public scrutiny and personal obligations. Every fight, interview, and social media post is analyzed by fans and critics alike, leaving little room for mistakes. Beyond the ring, Davis must manage his reputation, maintain relationships, and address legal and professional challenges that arise unexpectedly. The combination of athletic demands, public expectations, and private matters creates an exceptionally stressful environment. Fans who stand by him understand that success in boxing carries immense responsibility, and they appreciate the mental and emotional resilience required to stay focused under such pressure, providing him with a sense of stability amid ongoing challenges.
You better have that same energy when you get into that ring for this rematch with Lamont. Because I'm getting so tired of hearing about these DV charges you keep catching. So apparently Gervonta Davis has been arrested for another DV case. I think this is about his third or fourth one now, probably more than that. To be honest, this don't really shock me. Because y'all remember when he was dating Ari and they had got into a real bed and he pulled her wig off in the middle of the street, right? That incident was all over the internet. And fast forward, there was another incident that happened back in 2022 with another baby mama, where she claims that she was in the car and things got really rough between them and she made a frantic call to 911, which she should not have made, she claims. And also said that Gervonta did not hurt her or her daughter. So why did you call the police? It's giving I'm not mad no more, and at the end of the day, that's my baby daddy. So let me go ahead and scrap this up, clear up this rumor so nothing else goes any further with this. I really don't understand what be going on with men putting their hands on people. It's like, even if you want to give Gervonta the benefit of the doubt and say that he's innocent, when you got track record of 4 or 5 DV cases all proven guilty, bro, it gets to a point. Don't you blow off enough steam in the ring? And this is really disappointing for Gervonta, because it's like, do you want to throw away your career? You're literally #1 right now. You've been #1. You probably will stay #1 as long as you keep doing what you're doing. As many people as he done fought, it seemed like Lamont Roach was his only real competition. He match on the way, by the way. Really big fight. He got to be there for that. I don't know what he's going through, and maybe it's just me, but I do feel like ever since that fight with Lamont Roach, he been off lately. He ain't been on social media as much.
It's not the first time Gervonta Davis has faced legal trouble, and many believe he needs to take serious steps to improve his decision-making. While his career is marked by remarkable achievements in the ring, it has often been overshadowed by ongoing controversies that draw intense public and media scrutiny. This latest situation highlights the challenges he faces beyond boxing. Observers recall a notable incident in 2022, just before a highly anticipated fight with Ryan Garcia, when legal issues suddenly diverted attention away from one of the biggest matches of his career. Fans and analysts were reminded that personal choices can directly impact his professional life, no matter how talented he is in the ring. Many now argue that for Davis to fully realize his potential and preserve his legacy, he must prioritize better personal decisions and find ways to avoid repeated controversies.
Details. This is the information that is available to us as of this recording. So again, I'm saying unfortunate news because Tank Davis is scheduled to fight, and he's scheduled to fight in 11 days, and it's almost midnight my time, Pacific Standard Time. So that means really 10 days. Does this affect in any way? Will this affect Tank Davis and his fight? You know, I don't know. I don't know all the details, but we've seen stuff like this happen before in the past. And since it's so fresh, today being December 27th, I don't think it will impact or, you know, postpone his fight or anything like that, because it'll be too quick to go to trial or anything like that. However, some would wonder, could this affect him mentally, right? You left Mayweather Promotions, you're your own boss, doing your own thing. So this is your first foray into that. You have a difficult Olympian in terms of Hector Luis Garcia that you're getting ready to fight, a little bit taller and bigger than you. And, you know, now you have something in the background. This, I can't say it's news to Gervonta Davis in terms of him having little run-ins, because he had a run-in with some type of vehicular hit and run or whatever the situation is. So he's had court cases before. We'll see how it all plays out. Again, I don't really have any additional details. Hopefully it doesn't affect the fight, and this is situated and the details come out in due course. You know, I don't really have nothing else to say other than that. Just want to give you guys the latest news. But Gervonta,
that's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, and we'll see you next time.